So, I have just seen the most overhyped piece of garbage. I'm kidding, I'm joking. But I really need to talk about this movie. So, I have just seen Spider-Man No Way Home. I've seen the movie, and I have a lot of thoughts about it. But before I get into that, as you guys may know, if you saw my Venom Let There Be Carnage review, I kind of shared a little bit of my hatred towards this movie. Flashback? Hey, okay, I'm gonna share something here. I do not like the story of Spider-Man No Way Home. It just does not work. Why does Peter messing with the Forget Me spell bring all these freaking villains back, including Venom? Why in the hell is there a Forget Me spell anyways? Thank you, Flashback. Yeah, and I sort of want to explain why, like, why I feel this way towards the movie and stuff before I get into my full review and everything. And, yeah, let's just begin. So, after watching Spider-Man Far From Home, I was so hyped for the next movie. I saw that post-credit scene, and I knew the next movie would be incredible. And then, like, late 2020, it was kind of like in the works with Craven and stuff like that, and I got so excited. And then the title gets released, Spider-Man No Way Home. That sounded like such an epic title to have for, like, some sort of gritty movie where, like, the Peter Parker would completely change. And, like, it just sounded like a cool movie. Maybe add Scorpion, Craven, maybe a Sinister Six. It would be really cool. But then, August comes along, and I finally kind of get into the loop of leaks and stuff like that, and ideas and weird stuff, like a world that I didn't even know existed back in the day, because Jamie Foxx back in October-ish, maybe 2020, he revealed he made like a post saying that he would be in the next Spider-Man movie as Electro again. And yes, he was, obviously. So, after I got into this, I kind of, like, shared some, like, I had, like, a lot of feelings about this, and, like, I just really wanted it to be a storytelling aspect instead of what I thought it was going to be, which it still kind of is at the same time, a marketing aspect. And it just feels so convenient that the next Spider-Man story would be a multiverse story. And you'd be like, oh, I was in Spider-Man Far From Home, a multiverse story then, because it was already in production. It was already in production before the Spider-Verse came out. I think it was, like, maybe done filming. Yeah, it was back in 2018, it was, like, done filming right before the Spider-Verse came out, and then they got box office, like, huge. So after that, Spider-Man No Way Home was probably, like, pitched and worked on, and like after the Far From Home came out, and pitched and worked on, and, like, idealized and everything. So yeah. So it felt like a very big marketing aspect, which I really did not like. It made me very distasteful. So I didn't believe it at first, though. And then the trailer came out immediately after the trailer got leaked. And I had a lot of mixed feelings about it. I really did not like it, obviously. And I sort of shared my constructive criticism because, like, there's random posts that say, like, oh, what do you think of this or that? And it's like, oh, what did you think of that new trailer? And I gave some really constructive, good criticism, but I got a ton of fanboys on my ass, very angry at me, and I understand that. Like, I am one of those people sometimes. But then it led up to my account getting deleted, which I absolutely hate. The thing I built up for over 3 years wiped because of Spider-Man fans. It just made me really, really upset with this movie. Because, like, the fans are absolute toxic assholes. And they still are. There's still a lot of toxic fans. I'm not saying everybody is, but there's a lot. And, yeah, for months and months and months, I resented this movie. I absolutely hated it. Because, not because of only that, but, like, people were talking about it at school. People everywhere were talking about it. It always popped up on Instagram, Twitter, like, everywhere. It was everywhere. YouTube. It was freaking, oh, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, that. It hurt my mind because I don't like hearing about it. I didn't like hearing about it. I'm just like, this movie has just become a shit show. And I didn't really want to watch it. And the second trailer came out, and even more, I'm just like, this is marketing. And then the premiere happened. You know, I saw the spoilers and everything. And then I kind of got interested again. You know, I was kind of a bit interested. The reviews came in, and one of my favorites is this one from Beyond the Trailer. And I think it perfectly emulates what this movie is. A theme park mixed with an SNL sketch. Now, at first, you would think like, oh, SNL, shit, oh my god, that's so bad. No, and like a very good SNL sketch. And I totally agree. I'll link that review in the description. But like, it's a theme park mixed with an SNL sketch. Basically, what that means is it's a theme park because it's a wild ride. It's a wild ride. You see your characters, they come and go, and like you have a really good time. And then you also have the SNL sketch element where some characters don't perfectly match themselves and they just feel like actors playing the characters. So yeah. Anyways, so though, has my opinion changed? It kind of sounds like it did, but was this movie awful? And the answer is just plain no. It's not awful. But I'm still sick and tired of everybody praising it as the highest standard. Like, people like The Real Soups. No, it is not the best movie of all time. There's a lot of issues with it, but it's a fun movie. You can enjoy it. It's a fun movie. It's a good movie. It's not the best Spider-Man movie of all time. It didn't like do anything record-breaking. Like obviously a lot of people feel a lot of hype because of all these old villains returning and everything. And I understand that, but at the same time, it's not very inventive when you think about it. So, anyways, I guess we should just get into the spoiler-free review. And then we'll go into spoiler territory where I'll share all of my opinions. So, let's get right into it. Spoiler-free. What else can I say except Tom Holland does numbers again, especially in this movie. His emotions and like everything is just so great to watch. Like he goes from super happy-go-lucky to really depressed, which I can understand, to angry and violent and dark, and then like, I don't know, you just go through the emotional roller coaster with him, and it's very well done. I mean, if you can get your dad to cry, mainly my dad, and he doesn't cry at that much stuff, you know it's good when you get to your dad to cry. The relationship between the three, MJ, Ned, and Peter, is so great to watch. It's focused on their friendship, and I absolutely adore that. You just get to watch them go through the stuff with Peter, and it just helps so much. The villains were really great, and it was cool seeing them again, I guess. You know, I kind of came around to Electro a little more. He was a little better in this, even though there's still an issue with, like, everything, how fucking Lightning apparently gave him hair and a beard. I don't know. It's just so wacky. I don't really understand that. And everyone else is pretty good. Sandman, Lizard, Willem Dafoe was amazing, obviously. I just wish he kind of got just a teensy bit more, even though he was one of the main focuses and everything. So yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of good things. The main thing I forgot to mention as well is that I really did not like it because the story wasn't there. In the trailers, the story was not there. It didn't work. There were a ton of plot holes. Why did Doctor Strange do it? Why does a forget me spell bring all these villains in? But then it all makes sense. The forget me spell changed into bring everyone who knows the name Peter Parker into the universe. And it worked. Yeah, obviously there was a leak, and that's how you get all the villains. And, bring all the people who know Peter Parker as Spider-Man, or I don't really fully know, but, yeah. And, this might be a spoiler, but it's not really that big. The whole, like, Doctor Strange doing it kind of makes sense after he said, like, oh, we've done the spell, like, a ton of times. And that's because nobody messed with it, which makes sense. So, yeah. And, there's a lot of other good things in this movie other than that. But yeah, I don't know. So, I think I'm basically done with the spoiler-free review. If you want to know my opinion, this movie is a 7.5 out of 10. It's very fun, it's very nice, but it's just like too plot holey, plus I still have a bit of issues with what happened before and stuff like that. But yeah, it's time to get into the plot holes, or the spoiler review, I'm sorry. So let's get into spoiler review. Yeah. I'm happy Matt Murdock is back. Bro is incredible in Daredevil. I actually started watching it the day before I went to this. Daredevil is a great show. I love Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock. Seeing him again was really cool. And yeah, I don't know. I can't wait to see more from him. I wish there was a little more in the movie, but he'll appear in She-Hulk, so that's fine. The two other Spider-Men, yeah, they're in the movie. Andrew Garfield really came around in this one. I really loved his performance. It was really good. But there's an issue, and was also explained in that earlier thing I talked about with that review. There's also an issue. You need to watch all the other Spider-Man movies to fully understand the story. Because, like, if you didn't watch The Amazing Spider-Man 2, you won't know how Gwen died. Or you won't know Andrew's emotions around the death and just, like, so many different things. You wouldn't understand Toby and Sandman and, like, Uncle Ben and, like, all that stuff. You need to watch all the other movies, and that's an issue. Also Andrew and Electro, all those things. Another thing, mainly, is the fact, I don't know. I'll talk about good things, though. The Aunt May Great Power with Great Responsibility reveal was actually great. But it's really got me wondering about one thing, basically. But, it's like, I really love that. Like, I love that, like, she is the one to administer that on him instead of Uncle Ben. Meaning that Uncle Ben wasn't really in the universe. And if you looked closely, you can kind of see that with his emotions when, like, where they're talking about Uncle Ben, and he's just like, it's either in his head, who is that, or wait, they had their own Uncle Bens when you look at his face. So it really makes me wonder if Uncle Ben will be in Spider-Man freshman year or will be referenced. In my mind, I believe maybe Uncle Ben died before Peter was either born or when he was like super young, and they didn't have the talks to convince him to become like a superhero and stuff like that. So I think this is a theory, and if it comes out this way, you guys all owe me $1. But I believe that maybe Uncle Ben will die with either like when Peter was younger, or will die when Peter's older, like when he's 14 in Spider-Man freshman year, and will like not have that talk with Peter. So he would just be convinced to become a superhero to make sure that doesn't happen again with other people, but not know that great power comes with great responsibility, so it can lead all the way up to Spider-Man No Way Home. And if they do put the Uncle Ben great power with great responsibility thing, I don't blame them, because they would need to know Spider-Man No Way Home. And the thing is, would they understand Spider-Man No Way Home when writing Spider-Man freshman year, when animating Spider-Man freshman year and all that stuff? So yeah. What else can I really say? The villains were all pretty good. Doc Ock did a great, our Alfred Molina did a very good job as Doc Ock again. Obviously, I talked about Willem Dafoe earlier. He was amazing. He's the one who killed Aunt May, and like he was sinister and really good. He like had this awesome fight with Peter, and that's the part where Peter went dark and almost killed him. It was pretty emotional, and it was really good. I really like that part where he went dark and stuff like that, and it was really cool, like seeing another like dark version of Spider-Man. And then the other two can relate because Andrew said he stopped holding his punches after Gwen died when he got back to Spider-Man, and then Toby obviously beat the shit out of Goblin and the person who he thought was Uncle Ben's killer before he found out was Flint Marko. So yeah. There's not really else I could say except for the new suit. That new comic book suit is fucking incredible. That is one of the best suits that has ever come. It was fantastic. And I hate that people are calling it, oh, the PS4 suit, the PS4 suit. No. You know where the PS4 suit came from? The comics. So yeah, the comic accurate suit is finally in the MCU, which is really cool. But it really makes me wonder, though, what did he do with the suit he wore in Spider-Man No Way Home? The integrated suit, integrated with nanotechnology, and the black and red suit. What happened to that suit? And I don't know, I think he salvaged it for the eyes, because as you can see here, the lenses still open and close. So it's either he invented that himself, or he salvaged it from the integrated suit, because that's the last suit he has. But yeah. So other than that, Spider-Man No Way Home is a good movie. But don't praise it as a perfect movie, because it is not. It is not a perfect movie. Does it deserve a 90? Maybe. Depends on opinion. But if you want to get nostalgia blinded, go all for it. You'll have a great time. And if you want to see a good film, though, it's an okay film. Has some issues, but it's still very alright. So yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.